Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, I will be giving you some of my top tier series that I own or I have read and have absolutely loved. And I will recommend these series over and over and over again to anybody who will listen. Okay? Okay. First up, we're going to throw it back to one of the series that I first read back in like 2020. This is one of my first series that I read that really like catapulted me into the TikTok book talk community, because this series was I found this series through suggestions from Book Talk, and that is the Selection series. This series I hold dear and true to my heart. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This series is about, in simpler terms, a group of girls compete for a prince's hand in marriage. So basically think The Bachelorette, but make it a prince. You get where I'm going? Okay. Let me separate, okay? Because really the series is 3 books long. You have The Selection, you have The Elite, and then you have The One. This series kind of takes us through the process of the competition, but we'll back it up a little. In this kingdom, there's 5 levels of royalty, I guess, or how do I put it? It kind of feels like The Bachelorette meets The Hunger Games, but not so gruesome and brutal. But there's 5 like categories of people, and the higher you are, number 1 is obviously royalty. Number 2, they're wealthy. Number 3, they're okay, but they're, not as wealthy. Number 4, this is like your musicians and artists. They don't get paid as much, but they're not worse than level 5, if that makes any sense. Level 5 is pretty much like maids and servants and like, in this society, the bottom of the barrel. Okay. This series follows this girl named America who enters the competition only really to make her mom happy. But in reality, she and her family are like a level 4, and she's in love with the guy who's in the level 5 section of life, okay? So he's beneath her, but he's working and striving to be good enough to marry her in her family's eyes, okay? But she enters this competition obviously not really expecting to be chosen, because there's hundreds of thousands of girls that are entering this competition to obviously be a princess. So, spoiler, she ends up being chosen, okay? She has this fiery red hair. That's really what she's known about, is being this fiery personality. Literally the first night that she's there, she basically tells the prince, like, I don't really want to marry you. I just like the food here. And yeah, because also each week that these women are here, they get paid a little check, a little extra boost of money that definitely helps her family back home. So she really says like, hey, like, I'll be your best friend through this, and I'll tell you who's a good idea to marry, who's not, who's really here for the right reasons. Yeah, and just keep me to the end so I can keep eating this food and keep giving my family this money. And the prince is so like enthralled with her that he's like, yeah, you got it. But in reality, he actually really has a thing for her, and I think along the way, she realizes she really has a thing for him too. I'm not gonna really get into the other 2 books because it's a whole lot of drama happens, okay? It's literally like a season of The Bachelorette is involved in this, okay? But it's definitely a series you should read, because they're just, the way that this author, Kira Cass, the way that she wrote this male main character, he has nothing but love for this woman, and he's trying to show her like, look, like, I can be all that you need. Imagine a prince is trying to show this common woman, commoner, they're called commoners. He's trying to show her like, I can be everything you need and more. I can give you everything you want in this life and more. Obviously, there are some standout quotes. It's crazy because one of the quotes, I had been honestly, it was one of the quotes that I had really intrigued me to read this book. And I don't want to spoil too much, but let's just say that this man is down bad for this woman named America. Down bad for her. Definitely read these. I actually also went a step above, and Kira Cass ended up making, see, I feel like it gives spoilers, so I don't really want to give context about what these two books are about. This is The Heir and the Crown, and it's all involved with that series, The Selection, but I don't want to tell you how it plays out. So I'm not going to tell you what these two are about, but let's just say that it's not necessary to read them, but I did enjoy seeing how the story all finished, if that makes sense. So definitely check out that series. Definitely it's definitely romance. Yeah. Let's go to the next series. One of the series that I have recently read. I read this in January. I read the series in January. It's called the Dirty Air series by Lauren Asher. I only have the physical copy of one, and then I read the rest on Kindle, but I may purchase the whole series because I genuinely really did like this series. This was my first time reading a series based off of race car driving. So Formula One, that's what this series is all involved in. And was my first time reading a series involved about that, but honestly, it was very surprising, and it opened a whole new door because now I have another book on my TBR that's all about Formula One, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it, okay? There's 4 books. My favorite book, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it's either Throttled. Me personally, I would skip the 2 books in the middle and go straight to the end because, woo! Redeemed is such a good freaking book. I think it's honestly one of the top books. If I had to rate it in this series, it would probably be Redeemed, Throttled, and then I forgot the other 3. Redeemed, Throttled, Collided, and then Wrecked. Probably. But yes, this series just goes through basically a bunch of Formula One race car drivers and their partners, if that makes sense. This book in particular, Throttled, is about a race car driver who's like the ultimate bad boy and doesn't get into any committed relationships, is kind of like a wild child, and his rival slash basically partner in the company has a sister. Y'all already know where I'm going with this. The sister and the bad boy, okay? But yeah, this series goes through their friendship because it's like a group of people. It's 2 different race car teams, and it goes through their friendship, their tragedies, their careers, and it just goes through there. There's 4 couples in total, and each book tells the tale of their story and the progress and journey of them ending up in love. That makes sense. But Redeemed, that is such a good book. I would honestly recommend Redeemed on its own, but the only reason why I would say read Throttled first is that a big chunk of what happens in this book ends up into Redeemed, okay? You need to kind of understand what happens in this book to read Redeemed. So I would say read this, honestly, skip the other 2 books, and go straight to Redeemed, and you'll love me, I promise. Next up, I don't even know if this has a series, but it's a duology. It's Bride and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. You got werewolves. You got, this one's about arranged marriage. Well, arranged marriage / marriage of convenience. And in this story, this girl is trying to find her best friend, and she marries the leader of the werewolf pack, the alpha of the werewolf pack, in order to use him to find out what happened to her best friend, who's more like a sister to her. She's a vampire, he's a werewolf, they're arch enemies, and they have a marriage of convenience to try to get the 2 sides to get along, All right. Love it. Very spicy. Loved it about that. But then we go to this book. Basically, this book, she's trying to find this girl, her best friend. In this story, they're both werewolves. Okay. But he and her are mates. Okay, which means that they're like destined to be together. They're each other's counterpart. The best part about each other is each other. Okay. He's an alpha of his own wolf pack, and he has sworn off love in order to become the alpha. He has sworn off love, and she doesn't really want to be in love with this guy. She's like, ugh, you know, like, I'm only here because I'm sick. Okay, so I'm only here because of that. As she goes through this process of thinking she's sick and like thinking she's gonna die, this guy is trying to help save her because obviously that's his mate. Even though they technically rejected the bond, but not really. She just said like, you know, like, I don't want to be forced into a marriage, unlike my best friend. And I know that I'm sick and dying, so I don't want to get attached to anyone. And he's like, yeah, I don't really want to get attached to anyone because I can't really love you the way that I want to love you because I've sworn off love to become this alpha. The one thing about Ali Hazelwood is she knows how to write a good, spicy, paranormal romance. I've never loved paranormal romances unless it's written by Ali Hazelwood. Just saying. These two books, I could recommend a bunch of Ali Hazelwood, but these two books in particular, go get you them. Last but certainly not least, one of my favorite series, the Windy City series. Now, I don't have all the books with me. I'm not really sure where I left them because I just reread all of them. This book series, don't even get me started, you guys. I could shout it from the rooftop how much I love this series, okay? I don't think that would be enough to really get how much I love this series. This book is about, there's 3 different sports involved in this series. You have basketball, you have hockey, and you have baseball. I could not explain to you guys how much I love this series enough. The characters, the found family, the spice is all so interwoven and so beautiful that it's just unexplainable. It's about a group of friends who go through their careers and find love through them. There's actually 5 or 6 different stories about how they have each fallen in love. And I think what really makes it special is this author, Liz Tomford, has a way of involving everyone together and involving all the stories together and making it a very beautiful found family. When you read this series, it's like you're a part of the family and you're experiencing all this tragedy, love, and drama all together. Okay, you have 2 sets of siblings. You have the brother and sister, which they're twins, and then you have the 2 brothers. Okay, you have a single dad. The newest book came out like 2 weeks ago, and it's about one of the girls in this series, her father, finding love with his boss. It's so good. It's the found family, I think, that really makes it top tier special, and you will get a book withdrawal reading these books because the way that these family, they love each other. They're all friends and they love each other. As the series progresses, like obviously years pass by and you start to see the family grow. They start having kids, they start involving the kids into the storyline. It's amazing and I absolutely love it. I'm kind of sad that they're finished with this series, but I know that she's making a new series. And honestly, and rewind it back, if you pay attention, she kind of gives insight to the new book. I just finished rereading it and she writes a good chunk of this new group of family that she's going to be writing about. So definitely check out the Windy City series. That's all I got for you guys today. These are some of my top tier series that I will recommend over and over and over again. Let me know if you guys have ever read any of these or if you plan on reading them. You will not be disappointed. Bye, booksties. I'm so happy you're here, and I'll see you in the next one.